See? Drop my goddamn phone. Fucking phone. So why does your mind perceive these things as threats? Well, just like I was filming over there, I perceived what was most likely a threat. But for making a hard decision, it's about assessing these things. Okay? If you stay and you're lonesome, isolated, a lot of times it's very hard to figure out what is a threat and to separate your feelings from the reality of things. And what is the reality? It's very hard to know what is reality. It's even hard to philosophically, logically really determine what that means. What is reality? Well, reality, I would say, trying to figure it out is insufficient. For the most part, reality is what is underneath, what is underlying at all times. It's ever present, impossible to define, and really pointless to think about, to try to define it. Just know that it's there. You know it. It's familiar. You don't know everything about it, but it's there. As far as making hard decisions, you should, I advise, in my experience, I was thinking about this just the other day. When it comes to making if you have a hard decision you have to make, it starts with honesty. It's almost like going to Alcoholics Anonymous. Now, I don't drink, but I like the sentiment. You have to admit you have an issue. Okay, you have to admit that this is hard. Trying to pretend like everything's all right typically doesn't bode well for trying to figure out a hard issue that you have on hand. If it's difficult, admit its difficulty. Second, you would typically, okay, we're talking about doing the right thing here. This is not just for challenging hard decisions. I mean, moving in a direction that is the right thing, but would require something that is extremely uncomfortable, something that challenges who you are. Okay? A lot of times, you won't even know what it is. Like, thinking about it, you will not come to the conclusion. But a lot of times it's about clearing your mind, having an experience. And sometimes it only takes one experience. Like, every little thing, whether it's shitty like depression or like a series of victories, will lead you to the conclusion of what's right coming to you. And so in that scenario, that is how you would come to that. The conclusion will come to you. You might not recognize it. It might be an epiphany. It might be a whole life change. It might hit you intensely. It might be very subtle. But typically, to know the right thing, you let it come to you. If you're reaching for it, you might be doing the absolute wrong thing or the second best thing. So, take your pick. Secondly, enacting this. Well, this is where it gets fun. If this decision is the type of decision that we're talking about changing your life. We're talking about changing who you are. And that is not easy. Everyone swears that they do it. And sure, it's very easy to change your circumstances and to say you've changed your life or that you have changed. It is extremely common. It's so everyone does it. And does it amount to anything? Sure. But is that what we're talking about here? No. What we're talking about is you really want to, you have to admit, again, it comes back to the honesty thing. And, we're talking about acting in a way that's integrity. It's integrity with who you are. You have to be honest. So I'm filming this like near a graveyard, and I keep hearing shit moving. It's kind of freaking me out. Whatever, we're gonna keep rolling. You have to admit that death is inevitable, and ultimately, your mind is always trying to, ironically, scan off death. It's trying to make sure death is not imminent, just like I am trying to make sure death is not imminent right now. And it's a natural urge, and it's a very helpful urge. But you see, the thing about achieving something deeper, purpose, is that purpose does not recognize death. It's true. So I'm not saying ignore your fears, but you just have to accept it. And please don't take this wrong. I'm not asking for anyone to go out and die. Jesus, if you think you're going to die, don't do it. It's okay. Live to see another day. That is the preferred mode. That's the preferred strategy to reaching your goals. Okay? Never has dying typically in a normal way been a way to achieve someone's goals. And if you're already considering dying to achieve your goals, you're way past this video. You don't need to be watching this shit. You don't need to be listening to me about shit. I need to be listening to you. You need to be making the videos. But you just have to accept that pain may hurt. You may never come back. You are leaving home. The home being what you think your life is. And that's what change is. And that comes easy to some people. Sometimes they need to return home. Sometimes you're just changing your life way too much. You're in flux. And you just gotta you gotta return home. You have to settle down. That's a real thing too. But that's another topic. Just know it's a real thing. Like the flux might be too much. But if you haven't moved, being too settled in the idle mind is just as dangerous. They're equally dangerous. And when I mean dangerous, some of the weirdest cases of horrible atrocities come from both, in my opinion. The idle minds killed people. So is the mind in flux. The mind in flux has also killed people, abused people, such as the idle mind. And you just have to accept that, death may be in front of you, change, leaving home, pain, but you have to make the choice to leave. Not even why, just leave. If you're gonna do this, and that's what you have to ask yourself: are you gonna do this or are you not? And if you're not, that's fine. Your purpose may be to stay home. In a sense, you're leaving that ambition behind. This ambition, it's very painful. It's very damaging to tell yourself you're going to do something and not do it. A lot of people think it's harmless. It's not harmless on any scenario. It harms other people, but it harms you way more. When you tell yourself you're going to do something and you know deep down that you're not, it's okay to be undecided. But if you know, legitimately that you're not going to do the things it takes to do this, and you're not being real with yourself, you leave yourself in a sort of purgatory, and your soul does wither in that purgatory. You're setting yourself up for unnecessary disappointment instead of being who you really are. At the end of the day, all the themes of death, being who you are, leaving home, that's all I can give you, so ultimately do what you feel is right and let it come to you. And when you're ready, leave home. Leave your mental home, leave your emotional home, leave your spiritual home. And it's not about how fast you get there. It's about starting and finishing. You don't have to complete it, but until you're finished. And then you start again. That's the cycle of the day. We don't typically go from hour 1 to hour 24. We start the day and we go as far as our energy will take us. And honestly, my energy is waning, and I'm gonna go now. But keep that in mind. Starting and finishing over again, over and over. Till next time, I'm out.